No one watches this anime, and that's insane. Every season you have that one show that you simply stumble upon by accident. You start to watch it, and immediately after the first episode, you are hooked. So you watch the next episode, and then the next episode. And before you know it, you have fallen in love with this show, only to realize that no one really seems to care about it. Well, Heavenly Delusion is one of those special series. A gritty post-apocalyptic anime with an unpredictable plot, outstanding looks, and not the buzz that it deserves. Trust me, you are not going to see a show so unique this season than Heavenly Delusion. Between all the idol stars, demon slayers, magicians and professors, Tengoku Daimakyō feels like the world of The Last of Us and the weirdness of Neon Genesis Evangelion produced a child. The story follows our two protagonists, Maru and Kiru, through the dystopian desert of Japan, while there's another storyline taking place in an orphan-like facility that somehow seems to be connected with the two. And whereas our two MCs wander through a hellish Japan trying to find heaven, episode after episode more and more dark secrets are revealed about the orphanage. Right at the start, the show gives you a unique feeling of its parallel storytelling, switching between the two fates of our characters. It's hard to explain, but Heavenly Delusion feels like an old school anime, since it reminded me a lot of the shows that I grew up with. It didn't take the internet long to compare Heavenly Delusion to the post-apocalyptic world of The Last of Us, the intricate vibe of Sonny Boy, the creature design of Ghibli, Neon Genesis Evangelion, or probably and most obvious, Promised Neverland, and I get all of these comparisons. The fog of mysteries that surrounds this show is probably one of the central reasons for its appeal. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad thing if a show can be summarized in a single sentence. A superhero that can kill its enemies with only one punch. A young prodigy trying to surpass the cooking skills of his father. But a show like Heavenly Delusion is so special exactly because you are not able to put the show into one sentence. Does it lose a huge audience because of this? Yeah, it does. Will people be put off by the mysteries, the controversial questions the show asks, and the boldness of not answering every single one of them? Probably. But if you are willing to stay regardless, the show will reward you with an immersive world, breathtaking episodes, and I mean breathtaking, and some damn good animation. The secret ingredient as to why Heavenly Delusion feels so exciting is the way it reveals information to you. Okay, this is a basic rule of storytelling I really like. John Truby, a famous screenwriter, calls this the revelation sequence. To simplify things, a good script decides to withhold certain information from the audience in order to create tension, and Heavenly Delusion does this magnificently. In the show, every episode gives us new pieces of information that helps us understand the world and its characters. With each new information, we learn more interesting aspects about them, but never too much to make it boring or predictable. What's even cooler is that some of the information that is dropped and seems totally irrelevant at the time later becomes a vital detail that will make your jaw drop. You think this random line was unimportant? Well, wait for the next few episodes to prove you wrong. If you have seen Steins Gate, I think you know what I'm talking about. Episode 4 is probably the best example for this, revealing something that was mentioned episodes ago and definitely my favorite one this season. Heavenly Delusion cleverly withholds information from you and gives it to you exactly when you need it. The point of view is very important here, since neither Tokio in the facility nor Maru or Kiru know what's really going on. We only occasionally switch to the owners of the orphanage. The camera work only intensifies the feeling of unease and uncertainty, giving you shots in which our protagonists seem to be under constant surveillance. The beauty of the show lies in uncovering these little secrets. The first episode ends with a dark and gritty sequence that foreshadows the dangers that are about to come. And by exactly knowing what and what not to tell us, the show pulls you in towards an apocalyptic story full of dark twists and turns that I haven't seen like this in a long time. Production-wise, Heavenly Delusion is probably the best show of the season. From the amazing art design towards its animation, this show delivers in every facet. Something that I've read in an article and that often goes overlooked but helps making the world of Heavenly Delusion so immersive is the sound design of the show. The way Kiru reloads her gun, the sound of the man-eater when they crawl, the way the apocalypse sometimes leaves you in complete silence. All of these aspects help creating an hypnotic feeling for the world. Speaking of design, Heavenly Delusion looks amazing. From the on-point compositing towards the shift of art styles, it becomes obvious that this is not a typical anime production. Actually, Heavenly Delusion should have been released around this time last year, but the team of Production IG decided to spend some extra time refining the project, and you can see and feel the effort in every frame. The animation department switches its art style according to the tone of the show. In the more goofy aspects, when Maru and Kiru have an argument or meet someone weird on their journey, the art style switches towards a comic-like, imprecise drawing, whereas in the more serious moments, the animation feels sharp and concentrated. The action is equally well choreographed and fits needlessly in the show. It doesn't matter if Maru and Kiru are fleeing from a man-eater or fighting against other humans, every scene feels dynamic and amazingly well executed. But the heart of the show is definitely the world itself. Post-apocalyptic Japan has never looked cool. thanks to the amazing artwork of Yuji Kaneko. His worlds feel so lively, yet so lonely at the same time, which is why Tengoku Daimakyō perfectly fits into his portfolio. Also, Maru and Kiruku's small interaction on their way, like selling an old CD, hoping they will get to hear some music, or being overly happy about finding enough toilet paper, help intensify the apocalyptic-like feeling. Which begs the question, have you already seen the show? And if not, what is your favorite post-apocalyptic anime? Please let me know in the comments down below. If I had to criticize one thing about it, then that the truly weird relationship between Maru and Kiruku sometimes had one or too many fanservice-like moments that I didn't need in my opinion. But to be honest, that's everything I could criticize about the show. All that is left for me to say is, please don't miss Heavenly Delusion. This is a one-of-a-kind show this season, maybe even this year. Characters are not black and white, but a shade of grey. The show is dark without being edgy, asks philosophical questions, and most importantly, doesn't give you an answer for everything but enough dots for you to connect them. Besides the outstanding animation, this show knows exactly what it wants, understanding its source material to the fullest and took its necessary time for refinement. All aspects that we as an audience cannot take for granted these days. Sometimes a show is not bad only because it has a bad plot, but because the animation process itself can be a hurdle too big to maneuver. But here, thankfully, everything fits. Heavenly Delusion will most likely go into a second season. Hell, it has to, and I am going to be there when it does. So, what about you? Over here, I talk about Spy Family, but 1 year after the hype, so please check that out. It would mean the world to me. Thank you.